The law of attraction, or of asking and receiving, is the law upon which the manifesting of our desires is based. Our part is to become thoroughly familiar with this law and its operation, and to educate ourselves to have sufficient faith in it to look for and honestly expect desired results under it. When we have, by earnestly doing all that it requires of us, earned the right to such results. Elihu tells us in the book of Job that there is a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty giveth him understanding. As often as we seek to obtain that understanding, we expectantly and believingly, listening, as it were, to the inner mind or voice, we shall surely receive it. Let us, however, take heed that our seeking is rightly done, that is, in accord with our Father's decree, in such instances, which is, when ye ask, believe that ye receive, and ye shall have. This is a positive promise that never has been and never will be broken. It is hardly necessary to say that to handle an indebtedness of $40,000, which is practically unsecured, and keep creditors reasonably quiet, is something of a task. And there were many days when I ardently wished old Lady Winslow had lived long enough to have invented a kind of soothing syrup that would have accomplished this task for me. Lacking such potent remedy, I frequently found financial navigation pretty strenuous work. For while I had a large and fairly profitable school and reporting business, which had to some extent backed my credit in obtaining this sum of money from the banks, its property assets were very light, and it was incapable of doing more than to maintain itself and provide for the interest payments on this indebtedness. Although at the time I knew nothing of the science of so doing, I soon discovered that I had made a grand good beginning by going my way and telling no man of my difficulties. Only the brokers and my credit bankers knew of my downfall, and they were equally anxious with me that the matter be kept quiet until such time as some kind of satisfactory adjustment could be made. For a time, I accomplished practically nothing save trying experiments, with the hope in each instance that something worthwhile would come to me. I had apparently no guide or compass, and no active faith in the Father within, which doeth the work. Every book, essay, or lesson bearing on the subject of successful accomplishment of which I heard, I procured and read, hoping but not trusting I had found the solution of my problem. During much of this time, I was studying, with more or less earnestness, the universal law, endeavoring to convince myself if it were really scientific and dependable when applied to what I had been taught to consider material things. Then, if I could discover what were the conditions under which it unfailingly worked, the rest would be easy. At times, and this was often when I had been particularly explicit in explaining to all powers just how it could accomplish a certain thing for me, the law did not seem to work at all, and I would be almost persuaded that mine was the one job too big for universal mind. But at these times, as I came to review the matter earnestly and honestly, I found the trouble to be always the same as that pointed out by Christ to his disciples, when they likewise had failed in accomplishing their purpose, because of your lack of faith.